crown touched my head, I already knew what I came to do. But that night, it changed me. There's something sacred about the moment they call your name. You don't just win, you become a part of something bigger.
I was the one who called her late after 10 the night, and I was begging my little cousin Deanni to go for this Miss Belize World. That was her first pageant entering the industry. I remember talking to her like half an hour on the phone, encouraging her. She was like, I'm not really into it, blah, 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 blah. But I was the one who told her like this, Dee, you never know what will happen. If you won, it will be something very different. And I see good potential in her. So I was so happy that she decided that she will enter the pageant. And everything went well.
My experience was good. When I'm looking for a delegate, I always try to find delegates that can not only stand on their own, but you look for someone that can portray teamwork, someone that has that advocacy already. You always want to find someone that has something going on for herself. Because when you do get a queen, the main thing you look for is someone that is doing the work, right? So I never wanted to pick up girls that, all my girls that came to MBR had an advocacy. They were already doing some type of work. So it was mainly accepting girls that had something going on for themselves. And Deanni came with the full package. We just had to add a little. Working with her leading up to nationals was great. We put in a lot of work. She's well hardworking. If I say Deanni, be at my house this time, she's there at the time. So it was wonderful working with Deanni.
Belize Rural, Queen of the Bay, 2024 is none other than Deanni. To a reigning queen, Deanni.
What all did you take home when it comes to the different sessions for the winning of the different segments?
So I did a complete sweep for all the judges' criteria. So I won Best Curtsy, Best Dress, Best Talent. I won Miss Photogenic, which was selected by our photographer. I won the social media portrait competition, which was chosen by our supporters on social media. And I feel like I'm missing one more.
Girl.
It's still a lot, but
Wow.
I won.
Congratulations. So you're definitely like setting, the platform for what is to come for Queen of the Bay in a couple months, right? So whoever's watching this,
Competition.
you have
stiff.
competition. It's gonna be serious.
Our queen from Belize Rural is coming in ready. I'm gonna need you to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Because girl knows how to curtsy.
The Queen of the Bay pageant is upcoming in a couple months. How are you gonna prepare for the next level?
Well, I know that I am in good hands with our
Very
committee
good.
and with our director, Miss Kathy. So I already kind of know how she works. So I'm just ready to be a sponge again and to take up all the lessons and the experience that I will be, journeying along with her.
When we first interviewed Deanni on Sun Up on 7, she had just won the crown for Miss Belize Rural, and it was just so easy to talk to her. It's from there that I realized how authentic she was, how genuine she wanted to just do more for the crown, how she wanted to take it to a next level, and beyond just the level of just serving others, she looked at the business sector specifically, which I looked at and said, man, I don't think queens naturally always look at that part, but she had a different direction. And it's from there I knew that something was different about her, that her light shined just a little bit brighter, and I love to see it.
For me, it was a very overwhelming feeling. I was ecstatic, being also that I could not see most of the night. When the announcement came and it was stated that Deanni was the next queen, or the queen designate, it became emotionally overwhelming for me. I went into tears, tears of joy, because of knowing what it took of her to accomplish such a feat.
For me, the feeling was surreal, overwhelming, and a genuine feeling of relief. I felt in my heart and in my spirit that it was a journey that God was ordaining for Deanni, and now she was going to take on a task to know that she will have to trust God, and she will have to be obedient to whatever plans and purposes He had for her along the way. So for me, it was one in which we had to know that, Lord, you will be the lead, you will guide, and Deanni will just execute.
Deanni has always been a go-getter and a leader. From she was very young, she has always been willing to take on challenges, start projects at school, be the one to lead the group. And so her stepping out to enter into the pageant world was a new experience. I actually had not heard her before mention that she wanted to be in pageants, but she took it on with the same go-getter spirit that I've seen her exhibited since she was very young. She made sure that she researched all of what needed to happen, because she's a researcher. She's gonna get it right. But I also saw in her interaction with the other pageant ladies and with the other persons who were involved in the committee, how dedicated she was to ensuring that everybody did well. She wanted everybody to shine. It wasn't just a stage for her, it was a stage for all of them. And that to me was what really shone about Deanni, because she showed me in that pageant that it wasn't just a competition for her to win. It was an event for everybody to shine. And I think that's what everybody responded to. When I saw the comments on social media, that's what people were saying, that she was changing pageantry. She was making it something that was a platform to be proud of. And I'm very proud to be associated with her. I'm proud to see this side come out, something that I've always known. But to see other people respond to that, and to see how it made them respond to the pageant world differently, and to embrace the opportunities that it could bring, but also to showcase their own individual gifts.
Before I won the crown of Queen of the Bay, I had goals. And 3 of those goals were to expand my network, to take advantage of any opportunity to develop my personal brand and my business 5 Minutes with D, and most importantly, to be of service in my community. I felt like the essence of Queen of the Bay was kind of fading away, and it was purposeful that God placed me in the 79th pageant, because I felt like when I won, and the opportunities that came and network that I made and the service that I was able to do in my community and my country, that it had allowed the look and feel of Queen of the Bay to have a fresh start. And so the 8th decade and beyond would have standards to uphold that would maintain a stunning image for the Queen of the Bay.
I had no doubt that Deanni was going to be a great queen. She looks the part, and with her work ethic, I know that she was going to be one who makes sure that she fulfills all her tasks to the best of her ability.
The kind of queen that I think my sister was going to be was one who is very passionate about everything that she does. I mean, from the mere fact that she is well driven with her business and anything that she puts her mind to, I knew that when she got the position of Queen of the Bay, that she was going to do an exceptional job at that.
The title came with tradition, but I came with purpose. And from that moment on, I knew the work had only just begun.
I think besides her attire, many people was in tune with what she will do next. We all know that Deanni came with her advocacy, and I cannot stretch enough. If you want to go for a pageant, have your advocacy prepared, right? That helps you to be recognized before you enter the pageant, and she came with that. So I believe that it was easy for her to collaborate with other organizations, collaborate with people in her community. So she came with the full package, she came with the advocacy, so I believe that people look forward to see what she was up to next. If you get to know Deanni love fashion. Yeah. I also love fashion, and I remember when we were coming up with these outfits idea for the national pageant. This year, I'm super proud of her because she put a lot of her outfits together as she went on throughout her reign. So I'm super proud of her, and you know, when I see the posts and stuff, her Miss Cathy, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing that, I'm like, okay, I see the vision. So she has a love for fashion, and so it was actually amazing to see her put together her outfits. She learned, you know, what works for her body, what doesn't work for her. So I guess that is what people look forward to. You know, the outfits, what she's up to next. She has been an active queen, and we're super proud that she came from NPR.
What I think the public recognizes with Deanni showing up to all these events is that she has versatility. No matter what caliber of event it may be, she shows up and gives up herself 100%. And she makes sure to embody each activity to its fullest capacity.
Well, for me, the first experience that I had with Deanni and that wow moment was her first, I believe it was her first official assignment. That was the Governor General's ball. And it was a moment in which she had to interact with diplomats, delegates, high profile people. And she went around to greet them, and I saw her talking to some women, I think it were from Greece and some other diplomats, one of the diplomats for the US Embassy, and she went into conversation with them, and I stood back looking, and I was like, wow. She had such confident and heartfelt conversation with them. There was outbursts of laughter. She went around with one of the military person from Guatemala who could hardly speak English, but he was so thrilled by the explanation she was giving him about the history of the Queen of the Bay. And that was a wow moment for me, because I don't think I would have been able to interact so fluently with all these people, these dignitaries, but Deanni did it like with such grace, with such class, with such humility. That was the part that wowed me. She did it with such humility, and as a mom, I just had to stand back in awe and say, God, thank you for blessing me with a child with such grace and humility.
This was before the official coronation, where Deanni was crowned as the Queen of the Bay. This was a period when she went to visit this primary school, and seeing the impact of how the students responded and reacted to this person in regal form. You know, it was a moment that even in this moment, I'm feeling the goosebumps on my arms, because seeing the young girls and even the young boys' reaction to being in the presence of this person that they are giving this high level of esteem to, Queen of the Bay designate at that point, knowing what she's representing was more than just an occasion to say they've been or they had met a queen. The way that they embraced her was indeed like if though this was a lady of substance, this was a lady of value, you know, just someone to honor and to embrace. So that was a wow factor for me.
Well, first of all, I didn't
expect the wide reach in, I would say, popularity, with her taking on the reign. No matter where we go, people always recognize and notice her as Queen of the Bay, and just for them to, you know, smile and point and say, oh, Queen of the Bay, or sometimes they double take, wondering if it is really her, especially if she's not wearing that crown. We like to joke and say, like, she has that Hannah Montana effect, you know. Hannah Montana had that double life, and so when she's not wearing that crown, like, some people find it difficult to recognize her, but when they do, it's a lot of excitement. And then when she's wearing that crown, like, it's even more attention and more people coming up to her from young to old. So that's always exciting, and it's just amazing to see how much she has impacted people just following her journey. Like, people always come up to us and share how proud they are of her, how they love to see how she carried herself in her reign, and that she's just doing or she did a good job. So like, that was it. It never got old. Like, it's always a moment to say, like, wow, you know, when she might have, especially when she had moments where she felt like she wasn't doing enough, or like she didn't do a great job, and people come up and share just how proud they are, or just how amazed they were of the work that she did, or the way that she carried herself. Like, it always was great to have that validation in a kind of way, to know that the work that she put in and the support that we gave did not go in vain.
During her reign of 2024 to 2025, I have seen her grow immensely. During her time as Queen of the Bay, I think she took her heart of service very seriously, inspiring young girls to be the best that they can be and to really take their ambition to the next level. I also believe that during her time as queen, she was able to not only be queen, but she was also able to give back as herself. As 5 Minutes with Dee, and as her platform, she was able to provide consultation and advice to other small entrepreneurs, particularly young girls that are trying to have their hand in this sort of work. And I think that she did Queen of the Bay, not to prove something to anybody, but to prove something for herself. She had a goal, she wanted to achieve it, she wanted to make a difference. And by using the Queen of the Bay platform, I think she was able to achieve that and a lot more.
Hooray, said the church mouse. You're married. After the wedding, Mr. and Mrs. Goose were very happy. They wanted to have a cake and throw a big party, but they got mixed up. And instead, they had a party and threw a big cake. Chapter 4, A Silly Family. Would you like to start a family as Mr. Goose? No, said Mrs. Goose. I want to have So today is Friday, December 6th, and I printed my flyers. I only printed 5 because that's all I could have done. And I'm going to be sticking this around some major point areas in my village. And then I also brought home some trinkets and bags to put together, the treat bags or the goodie bags for the event. And honestly, I'm really nervous for this event because I just want it to go well. I am praying and hoping that people do bring their children to receive their gifts, receive their goodie bags, take a picture with me. And yeah, I am getting more and more and more excited for the community Christmas cheer. I just got a package with some Barbies, and it just looks so cute. I could just imagine the little girls who get these dolls at the event, like how their face will light up. I have to show them like right now. Look, I spin the camera. Look at all these Barbies. They are like the Barbies of my dreams, especially this one. Sing. Hi guys.
Oh, we need video.
Put it on video.
Pop it up, pop it up, pop it up, pop it up. Hey. I know that Thursday.
I'm here at Holy Redeemer Parish. I'm going to be speaking to the Standard 1 students about civic pride. I have some goodies from BTB, and I'm just waiting for them to get here. Good morning! That's a good thing because when you're here, you're alive, you're ready to learn about civic pride. So when I say civic, you say pride. Civic pride. So number 2 is respecting each other. What's number 2 we must have? Alright. Now example number 3. Now we're respecting each other as human beings, but we can't forget our animals. We can't forget our natural beauty. So imagine us in the sea and we see garbage floating around. Is that having civic pride? No. We must make sure that our waters are clean. And going to the zoo, you see all the animals, right? Yes. And you get excited to see them. But they are also in the wild. Is it fair or is it civic pride if a car knocks down at a pier? No. Or when they are killing the birds to sell them, is that having civic pride? No. We must also show respect for animals. The same way that we can live in Belize and we can be free, they have to roam around and be free too, right? Exactly. So we must respect our natural beauty. So many people from around the world travel to Belize just to experience what we see every day, or what we know is here. People from Africa, people from Asia, people from America, all of them come to Belize to snorkel and see our sharks so that they can go hiking in our mountains. And that's our backyard. So when we have civic pride, we are making sure that not only us can enjoy it, but all those from around the world can explore and enjoy Belize. Hey guys, it's March 10th and I'm getting ready to put together packages that I will be donating to little girls at Orobu Methodist Primary School. When I saw that post with them being entrepreneurs for the day, it really warmed my heart. And entrepreneurs like Cash Expressions, Ashley's Baked Creations, Hey Abs, you know, they generously gave me items and supplies when I started Janae's collections, and I feel like now is the time for me to be just as generous to up and coming entrepreneurs. They might not be entrepreneurs now, but in the future, or with giving them these supplies now, they will be able to, you know, learn some more. They'll be able to be interested more in jewelry making to one day be an entrepreneur like I was. So yeah, I have these containers that I will be packing. I have 10 of them so far. I went to Tony's and purchased all 10 myself, and I'm gonna show you the jewelry supplies. Look at this mayhem. So I am all finished with the 10 containers, and it is all jam-packed with beads, findings, charms, and I'm super excited to go and donate these to the little girls at Orobu Methodist primary school, they will love it. I mean, look at it.
Started my own jewelry business, Janae's collection. And so I would make earrings, anklets, necklaces, I mean, whatever I can practice. And sell it. At first, I sold it at my mom's work. So her coworkers still just had to buy from me, an entrepreneur. So I said, you know, there's going to be a time where I can do the same thing. And this was that time where I saw that there's young girls who I saw had little arts and crafts, had jewelry, and I know that I have the things that can help to support your dreams. So who in here wants to make jewelry one day? Alright, I expect you to see all 10 hands. And who wants to have their own business in the future? And I expect you to see all 10 hands. So what I'm going to do today is I will be giving you all a container filled with beads, charms, and stuff to make earrings. So when you go home, you can sit down and make some earrings or bracelets with your family. And we will also do a quick little session to make your own earring. Session, right? And there's also a little magnet in there. So you can take it, right? And with the bag, it's reusable. So as you're finished with your earrings, you can put it right back in the bag and take it home. Alright. So everybody has their bead on the stem. Let's hold it up. Alright. So next we're going to take the bead that looks sparkly. It's almost like a spear or oval shape, yes. And we're going to place it right on top. So this should be our next step pose. I can do the face for you. So what do you do in order, before you use the pliers with the stem? Before you cut it, you bend it like an L. So I'm going to show you bend it like an L.
In a society where we are becoming comfortable with ourselves, we're not looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, I look so pretty here, you know, I love myself. We're looking at ourselves and we're overanalyzing our appearance. Man, I need to make sure I tone up my legs because somebody called, I want to wear my suit, or man, I don't know what it would take to make I grow some more boobs, right? So you look at yourself, my teeth cooking. I'm gonna dentist soon and fix that. So we're looking at all the things that we're adding to our checklist of what to fix instead of, you know, like what we were speaking about earlier, what to accept. A part of self-acceptance is that physical acceptance as well.
Deanni, for joining us today and sharing such an inspiring, insightful presentation on empowering young entrepreneurs. Thank you, Ms. Len, for being a role model and a voice of empowerment. We are honored to have had you with us today, and we hope this won't be the last time. Let's give her another round of applause.
Working with Queen Deanni for the Miss San Pedro and Queen of the Bay collaboration was such a blast. Honestly, I loved working with her. She's so professional, so humble, very loving, and overall just such a great person.
Hi guys, I look pretty crazy, but I am about to continue working on my leg of the Queen of the Bay and Miss San Pedro collaboration. Alexa will be coming to Belize City, which I'm so excited for. I already have the draft itinerary. Well, this is the second draft, and I'm just finalizing it, just so that on Saturday we have a plan. You know, things might change, but it's just a solid plan that if all goes well, that we have a wonderful day. And even if things slightly change, it's still gonna be a wonderful day. So yeah guys, let me just show you a bit. Crazy with neon lines, but yeah, you can see that that's the itinerary. You know, sometimes you feel like curling up and crying or complaining or feeling discouraged, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that you're on a journey. You are growing. I feel like I'm learning so many lessons. You know, planning this activity with Alexa, I had to reach out to a few people to support this, to sponsor, and I felt a confidence boost doing that because I can get pretty shy. I can get pretty nervous and anxious, but everything is working out smoothly. And yeah, just thank God for getting this far. We are 3 months away from the end of my reign. Time just fly. The storms of life will always come, but it's how you weather them that defines you. Through all the challenges, I've learned that resilience is about showing up every day, no matter how hard it gets.
How I saw my sister juggling her time as queen as well as giving some of herself to our family, it was very perplexed at times because obviously with being the queen of the bay, it comes with a lot of duties, and sometimes she's very exerted energy wise, but she always tries her best to make sure that she still shows up for the family, that she's present when we're having family time, and that she's in the moment. And of course, as her family, we're very supportive and we recognize when she needs rest. So it's never really that deeply of a challenge. It's just more so of understanding rest and understanding showing up for family.
Moments we could have seen where the load was really weighing on Queen Deanni, because it was almost to the point at time as if though she would crack, you know, trying to make time for work, trying to make time for queen duties, trying to make time for friends, family, or even personal time. And that's where, you know, how they would try to say, the balancing act would play in. But there were moments where we could also see all these pressures weighing to the point that it plays a role against her health, you know, trying to tell her she has to make sure that she has to eat, she has to hydrate, yeah, she has to drink some sugars to keep her energy level boosted.
Take her vitamins.
Right, take vitamins, you know, eat. All these factors we were there in trying to ensure that she stays firm with health, stay firm in spiritual awareness, nourishment. Yeah, spiritual nourishment, remaining grounded to the fact that family is always a boost. So honing in on family and, you know, building up that strength in knowing that with that support she can regroup and execute.
How I saw Deanni juggling her duties was she always had a schedule. Deanni scheduled out her month with all the activities that needed to be done, and after that, like, she would have a debriefing with us as her family, and we would figure out, okay, who will be her chaperone? Will it be my parents? Who will have to drop her off, pick her up? So she just did everything by planning and communication. That's how she managed to juggle everything together.
I made a lot of sacrifices as the queen of the bay. Honestly, if I had to detail every sacrifice, jaws would be dropped. But all jokes aside, I really did a lot in order to have this reign that everybody admires so much. Queen of the Bay was like a second job, and my job alone is very demanding with time. It is spontaneous, and somehow I managed to balance the two of them. My job, I have to give them the love and respect for supporting my journey as Queen of the Bay, because I would work lunchtime in order to get an hour to go to an event, or even when I spend more than an hour, you know, I would compensate with the overtime that I would do. So technically I didn't make any money with some of my overtimes. I just gave it back in time. And another thing with my job is that my department, they supported me wholeheartedly, that they would look forward to what I would wear and everything, but they would make sure that if I needed a ride to an event, that they would drop me off if they had to. And so that's some major sacrifices poured into this pageant, poured into my title. My family made major sacrifices as well with their jobs. If they had to hurry drop me off at an event because maybe there wasn't any transportation, or if they had to take off the time to accompany me somewhere, they would do that. And other sacrifices that I would make is, just filling in the gaps whereby it was not provided. And I made sure that I either reached out to sponsors on my own, or I was able to cover certain things on my own. And fortunately for me, a lot of people loved my fashion, but that came through the help of a former queen. And so other sacrifices would just be to, like, if I wanted to accessorize it, maintaining my nails, maintaining my hair, all of that is a greater overhead expense that if at the end of my reign I had to calculate everything, it's an investment. But to me, it was an investment of making sure that, Deanni, if you're that sacrificial lamb, if you are the one who is gonna change the narrative for Queen of the Bay, that you have to swallow that pill and to make it your own. And so instead of doing what maybe would have been the first thing that came to your mind, I said, you know what, Dan, we're going to take this bull by the horn and we're going to make these sacrifices, because at the end of the day, it's going to carve out a legacy that will live on forever, and it's going to charter a course whereby it has to be maintained for the next queen. Whenever I come to a show, I have to travel with uniform, backup shoes. Life as a queen. So I am currently at work after my presentation at Holy Redeemer. As you can see, my clothes is in my at work wardrobe closet, I guess. But it was really fun and I enjoyed it so much. Doing school visits really makes me feel so proud. It makes me feel so excited knowing that I get to share knowledge and inspiration to children. So yeah, on to the next one sometime. Finished from the pageant, guys. Hi, Dad. Was it a good show?
Excellent.
That's the vibe. So I'm about to go home from the Wesley pageant. It's 10 to 11. I'm so tired, hungry, more tired. Tomorrow morning I have work. I have to go take photos, and yeah, there's so much that I do and there's so little time, but I'm about to go home, shower, and go to bed. So I literally just got home from the Miss Universe pageant. It is 10 past 1 a.m. and I have to stay up a little bit longer because I have a work trip. Later on today, I have to be at the water taxi for about 9:30, 9:45. I have to go on an influencer trip for work, and literally as I meet the group, we are going ziplining, and I am so tired. My voice sounds bad, my feet are killing me, and tonight was amazing. It was really good competition. I feel very privileged to have witnessed this Miss Universe Belize as Queen of the Bay. Oh my gosh. I met a few of the delegates, and yeah, I'm just very interested to see how the Queen of the Bay pageant will go moving forward. But yeah, so let's get packing. Packed and ready for my work trip. Honestly, y'all, like, I still feel like a 6 out of 10, but I gotta have all the energy that I need to put into this trip. It's gonna be a really good one. So yeah, this is the life of being a queen. Like, your schedules are so robust and you just have to find the strengths in yourself that you don't think is there, but it's there. Always pray, of course. Make sure that God is guiding you in everything. And honestly, I did not expect all this as a queen of the Bay, but it's happening, and I'm always and forever grateful that I am experiencing such a dynamic reign, one that literally always has me on my toes. We are heading to the fashion show, and we got a ride with Bella because me and Mom's nearly got a taxi. So thank you, Bella. At work. She really think that. Finished from my speech and I'm heading back to work already, like just like that. Rushed home to get my uniform. Hey guys, so we are at Zeva Sadai in San Ignacio, and we are here to try on the dress. We as in me and Miss Cathy, cause hello, had to get back with the best. Just a sleepy soft. Hi Dad. We are at Emancipation Day ceremony, guys. We are doing a photo shoot. Mike. Hi guys. Yeah guys. We're reunited. I was sitting in the mangroves for the picture, and now we're finished, and it's look number 2. It's literally anything for the pictures, guys, because now my foot and my butt are hurting a little bit, but it's gonna be worth it, guys. It's going to be worth it.
You the one, like, so, headshot? No, yeah,
Them planning the shot, picking which one. Right. About to do a podcast, guys. My journey as queen, it required so much out of me because of the quality of reign that I wanted. And yes, you would see me doing so many activities. You would see me and my family at a lot of these places and spaces. You would see me looking stylish and everything, but deep down there were times where I just felt burnt out. I felt tired, and I felt alone at some points in time, whereby I knew that it was not just about creating a legacy of my own, but at some point I felt like I was carrying the rebrand of the Queen of the Bay on my back. I felt like so many eyes were on me because they saw a fresh new look and feel of the Queen of the Bay. And I am somebody who, once I go into something, I go full force. And that can be my worst enemy at times, because then I get really tired. And the support that came with that came significantly from my family, friends, job, and my colleagues from you know, the entrepreneurship space. And I knew that there were times where they looked at me and they were like, are you okay? Are you fine? And honestly, all I had to be was real and say no. And that was when I depended a lot on certain family and friends to vent, to let it out, to cry, to scream, to be angry. And they helped me to get right back up again.
Seeing Deanni staying committed. I mean, seeing her staying committed. That is like an understatement. Everything that Deanni engages in is one that is life committed. It's filled with that great level of passion, that great level of enthusiasm. All of Deanni goes into all these things, and it holds such a broad spectrum. So Deanni is always focused, or so focused. I mean, that there are times you have to like bring her back into the reality that life is still, the rest of life is still here to be lived. So I don't know if that is sufficient to sum up seeing, or to suggest that these are what makes up of the commitment that Deanni brings to her role and her service.
Even when there were times that Deanna would just seem like she would just blow her tops because she's so passionate about something. And that was one of my concerns for Deanna when she went into pageantry. I said, God, maybe you just want to calm Deanna for making know that not everybody want to do things to the T like Deanna. Because when Deanna dedicates, she want to make sure, like one interviewer, TV interviewer said about her, you have to make sure that you dot your I's and you cross your T's, because she is coming with her A game at all times. She will get ruffled up about situation, but when after taking that deep breath and regrouping, Deanna is going to execute what is on that drawing board or what is on that table. And that is one of the passion and the commitment that she has. So I knew from the beginning that when she went into pageantry and she wanted to know that she wanted to be a queen, to be remembered, and a queen who will set a different level to pageantry, Deanna was going to go all the way. And the part of this journey that she's on that I had mentioned to her, even though when she had mentioned she wanted to go into pageantry, I actually prayed and asked God for him to change her mind. But I knew when he convicted me and made me aware that the journey was not my journey but Deanna's journey, it was because he had something big for Deanna. And I could see that during this journey that Deanna went on, that she was obedient to whatever God had placed on her heart, and she's remained dedicated and committed
Amen.
to serve her country, to serve her people, and to be that light to whatever darkness was there around the whole idea of being a queen, the whole idea of pageantry. And I have to say that her commitment is
Stella,
beyond immeasurable, and to God we give the glory.
Throughout my reign, I made it my mission to be present with intention. It was about using my platform to inspire youths, empower women, promote civic pride, and many causes dear to me. Looking back at my reign as the Queen of the Bay, honestly, it's an emotional one when everything slows down and you look back and you say, wow, like, I did that. You see the behind the scenes, you see what everybody sees, and you just could feel proud, honestly, because I just felt like everything happens for a reason. God made things happen for a reason. God knew why he wanted me to participate, why he wanted me to win, why he wanted me to be the active queen that I was. And I knew that it would create such a heartwarming feeling to the country of Belize to see that there was a Queen of the Bay who had that work ethic, who had that love for country and community, who was literally just pouring out herself to the nation to show that, hey, this is who I am. And so literally everything that I did was a major accomplishment. And the way that people viewed the Queen of the Bay during my reign was a major accomplishment. People respected the title when I held it, and I hope that that continues to trickle down for future pageants and queens. Something that stood out the most to me being the Queen of the Bay was my ability to step outside of Belize City. A lot of people approached me with that misconception that it was a Belize City pageant, a Belize City queen, and honestly I represented the Belize Rural. And I made sure that I kind of changed that storyline of everything being so concentrated in the city, which indeed a lot of my activities were there. But I was in the Garfina Settlement Day parade with UNFPA because I was a Yagi. I was in Belmont Pine speaking at a girl empowerment camp. I was in San Pedro doing activities with Empower Her and Miss San Pedro 2024. I wanted to expand and go out as much as possible, but with time and with resources at hand, I made the most of what I could have done. And so yeah, I feel very great about what I was able to do and how I stood out not only in Belize City but outside the city.
I know that Queen Deanni will continue to inspire young women by showing that leadership comes from confidence, humbleness, kindness, and staying true to who you are. I am genuinely excited to see what the future brings for Queen Deanni.
Even after the reign, I'm sure Deanni will keep inspiring because she lives with purpose. She's strong and fearless in chasing her goals. That's a kind of example that motivates young women to believe in themselves.
I have always said that whenever I select a queen, they have to be an active queen. So I believe that her reign has exhumed that. I believe that she has put her best foot forward. And each queen should actually take a note from her book. Not to sound cocky or to be cocky about it, but the work is there. You can see what she put in. So if you ever decide you want to go up, just take a look back at 2024 Queen of the Bay and study. Because it's easy to study. You can study and see what had worked, what hasn't worked, what Queen Deanni did, what can I improve on, or how can I be different. Don't copy, but put yourself and try to make your reign unique. So if you want to go for a pageant, start now. Do the groundwork. The groundwork is what will make your reign unique. So be yourself, right? The key thing is to be yourself.
The way she carries herself means a lot to me. I admire her. I see a lot of changes in her, especially with her clothes line. Everything was so neat. Purse, shoes, accessorized, everything perfect. Hairstyle, perfect. And she carried herself with respect, classiness to me. And whenever the camera is on her, it's like, I'm ready, I'm here. So I like that about our queen, Deanni.
Just to add, I hope to see her in another pageant. Not now, because we have to build on that advocacy.
I already talked to her.
Build more on the advocacy to prepare her for an international pageant.
I told her already.
We hope to see her on. So everybody, we got any fingers crossed? Maybe Miss Cathy make it happen.
As her reign comes to an end, I think that she was inspiring people from before she was Queen of the Bay. I think this platform just kind of propelled it to another level. I remember when she initially told me that she wanted to do this pageant. And I would support my friend in anything, but I wasn't necessarily a fan of pageantry. So I was like, not sure if you need it. And I still don't think she did. I think that Queen of the Bay needed her more than she needed it. And she definitely was able to showcase her talents, her leadership skills in a way that inspired a lot of other girls to sign up for this time to be Queen of the Bay. I think that regardless of whether she's a queen or not, she is making a difference in her community and inspiring others.
Ooh, I am very proud of my sister. From the moment she decided that she wanted to compete in Miss Belize Rural, I was right there rallying behind her, and even up to the point of winning the crown at Queen of the Bay. I think I cried so much for both pageants because I was just overwhelmed with joy, and just watching her fulfill her duties with such grace, putting in all of the work, you know, long nights, tireless days, just planning for whatever it is that she wanted to execute, like actually seeing her go from plan to action. I'm just really proud of her. Deanni is someone who, when she sets her mind to something, she will make sure that she goes above and beyond to get it done. And I'm just filled with awe looking at her sometimes, because it's just amazing how she could visualize something and bring it to life and make it look so effortlessly. So I'm beyond proud of her.
What's next for me, honestly, is continuing what I had already been doing. I believe that my journey as Queen of the Bay, it has given me a bigger platform. My name is out there more. People see the work that I have been doing before the crown with 5 Minutes with Deanni, my youth advocacy. And so I just want to continue, but on a greater scale. I want to continue my youth advocacy. I want to continue my entrepreneurship advocacy. I want to take my business up a notch after everything that I've done. I want to continue my business with content creating, of course, but tapping into other areas like event hosting, modeling, public speaking, like all that stuff I feel like I have in me. And of course, overall, I still want to continue serving my community. Honestly, being the Queen of the Bay wasn't about fitting in a mold. It was about letting the title be one that was under my Deanni Janae umbrella, a part of my personal brand. So I pretty much was just being who I am naturally. Of course, I couldn't do things that I love, which was like dancing carnival and wear my hot shots and, you know, stuff like that, being a girl from the tropics. But honestly, the title was one that had allowed people to see who I am and really what's to come, because the story of Deanni Janae does not end there.
Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "To trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." My journey as queen was nothing short of eventful and intentional because of trusting and surrendering to God's plan. I've grown so much as a woman, stepping out of my comfort zone and fearlessly walking into open doors. So God, thank you for your redirection, guidance, and bountiful blessings. A heartfelt thank you to my parents, Giovanni and Delsa Lang, my sisters, Keisha and Christy, my extended family, my best friends, and my day one supporters who have seen me through both my good days and bad days. You would do anything for me, from attending events to planning ideas and logistics, consoling me and motivating me. I love and appreciate you beyond what words can describe. To my job, my church family, my cousin Stephanie Norales, Mrs. Kathy Moody, and the former Miss Belize Rural team, my San Pedro family, and my 2024 sister queens, thank you for your sincere encouragement and contribution towards my journey. My reign would not have been as impactful as it was without the schools I visited, the photographers I've collaborated with, and the individuals, groups, and organizations I've worked with, including those who sponsored my endeavors. Thank you so much for your thoughtful generosity. There are too many friends, colleagues, and supporters to mention who have gave their time, advice, and love. I am genuinely grateful for all your roles in my life. Additionally, To the Queen of the Bay Committee and the Association of Former Queens, thank you for your assistance during my reign. To all the delegates, especially my successor, be bold in your faith, purpose, and decisions on the road ahead. Make every moment count, work hard, and remember to enjoy it all. Belize, it was with absolute honor and pride that I've served you as the Queen of the Bay. My reign was filled with immense responsibilities and challenges. However, I have been beyond blessed with wonderful opportunities and cherishable memories because of your support and love. This is not the end, but simply the beginning of my life's journey as an improved woman of this beautiful nation. My reign as Queen of the Bay 2024 to 2025 has trailblazed a new legacy and an indelible year in Queen of the Bay's history. With faith, I persevered. With grace, I reigned. With love, your graciousness, Deanni Janae Lang, 79th Queen of the Bay.